Well, hello there, everyone. Hopefully this finds you doing fantastic. It is Thursday, April the 14th in the year 2022. I'm going to talk to you a bit about two different things. I'm going to talk to you about three milestones to financial freedom, and a little bit about Mud Wtr. If you watch my videos in the afternoon, a lot of times I'll mention, I'm sipping on a cup of Mud Wtr, right? And I know some of you don't know what Mud Wtr is, because I had one person I met one time told me they always thought I was talking about coffee, like black coffee. You know, they might call black coffee Mud Wtr, and I do drink coffee. Anyway, as always, I am not a financial advisor. I am not a CPA. I'm not an attorney. I am Mazske, the guy who was a blue-collar, lower sort of income worker all his life, and no blue collar today, but I got a wrinkled collar on this old shirt that I'm wearing, okay? Alrighty, so to start off with, what do you want to hear about? Do you want to hear about milestones to financial freedom, or do you want to hear about Mud Wtr? Financial freedom, Mud Wtr. Financial freedom, Mud Wtr. We'll go with financial freedom first. How's that? All right, so financial freedom, 3 milestones. I saw a post by Scott Trench on Instagram. All right, I'll show it to you real quick. If you can see that. 3 milestones to financial freedom, post by Scott Trench. Scott Trench, if you don't know who he is the CEO of Bigger Pockets, biggerpockets.com. If you don't know who Bigger Pockets is, they are a real estate investing type website. They are really big now. I rarely, if ever, go to Bigger Pockets anymore, okay? But occasionally I might check it out because it's overwhelming, especially if you're a newbie investor. It's overwhelming, but yet you can find good information there, okay? All right, so back to Scott Trench and his 3 milestones to financial freedom. Number 1, he says to build $1,000 to $2,000 in emergency funds immediately. All right, that's step number 1. I think I agree with that because so many Americans live paycheck to paycheck and do not have anything. No funds saved up, nothing in the bank, nothing in the gas tank, shall we say. All right, but if everyone who has not started yet, and if you have younger relatives, maybe suggest this to them. Stress to try to save up an emergency fund of $1,000 to $2,000. Okay, it's not a lot of money, especially in the day and age of rising wages. It's not a lot of money. But by doing that, let's say if someone's driving a car, and they got their license, they got a car. How often do you need to get maybe tires? Or something might happen to the car where it's $500 to fix it, $800 to fix it. All right. If you don't have the money, what do? You put it on a credit card, then you go down that rabbit hole, the credit card debt, where you can't pay it off. But if you get the funds saved up, yes, if you are sort of like me, because I'm not a financial advisor, but what I do is I do put all my expenses on a credit card. I pay my credit card in full every single month, but I put them on a credit card because I get points. I can get cash back. I can get free airplane tickets. I can get free stuff. And I never pay interest. Never. In the last 25 years, I paid interest one time, probably 23 years ago. And it was a very small amount. And it hurt me. I did not like it. All right. So anyway, if you have not started yet and you're struggling to figure out how to get started because you want to get your first rental property, save up that emergency fund because it can save you. All right. Just $1,000 to $2,000. Put it away. Don't take it out to buy the next baseball game ticket or the next soccer ticket or the next pair of shoes. It's your emergency fund. Keep it safe. Keep it secure. All right. Put it in just a lower interest local bank account that you have. All right. Number 2, Scott says, start paying off bad debt and get it back to 0. All right. Bad debt. Bad debt primarily is credit card debt. Why is that bad debt? Because it's usually high interest, okay? A lot of times credit card companies will have rates anywhere 15.99%, 23.99%. It's high interest. So if you have bad debt, if you have a car loan, for example, yes, that's bad debt because a car is a depreciating asset, all right? You don't want to borrow money and pay a high interest rate for a depreciating asset. However, if you have a low interest rate on a car loan, like on one of our cars, we have a car that has we have a car loan on it. And I haven't paid it off yet because I don't want to just take the cash and pay it off. But the interest rate is 1.9%. Okay. I can get a better return on my money than 1.9%. So for the time being, I pay a lot extra every single month on that loan. So I'm paying it off fast. But I'm not like saying, oh, I got to pay it off immediately. It's not 23% interest. It's 1.9% interest. Okay. So keep that in mind, because credit card debt is probably the worst debt. Because what do you buy with credit cards? Stuff. You don't buy a car with a credit card. You don't buy your house that you live in with a credit card. You buy stuff. Do you really need stuff? Okay. The third thing that Scott says is after you build up $1,000, $2,000 in emergency fund, you start paying off your bad debt and get it back to zero. The third thing he says is build up about $25,000 in working capital. $25,000. That may sound like a big number to some of you, okay? Because it is a big number. All right. So, but you want to be an investor. So I agree with that. I agree with that. Because I don't know who you are. I don't know where you live at. I don't know what your local market is. I don't know how much real estate costs in your local market. But $25,000 is a start. Do you 100% absolutely have to have $25,000? No. There are ways you can get started with less than that to get started as an investor, okay? And I'm talking primarily about real estate investing, all right? You can become a stock market investor with $5, $50, $100, okay? But from someone, mazske, who has invested in stocks in some fashion for 30 years and has only invested in real estate for now a total of 5 years, I will hands down emphatically say across the board 100% positively, and this is mazske's opinion, but 100% positively, real estate investing beats stock investing. And I had an 18% annualized return with stock investing for a period from 2005 to about 2018, 2019, 2020, somewhere in there, like probably 2020. An 18% annualized return, which I guarantee, I won't guarantee anything, but probably beats any return that you get with your 401k, with your mutual fund. Because that was annualized over a long period of time. All right. I did it with the help of the Motley Fool. That's how I did it. All right. But I will hands down say real estate investing beats stock investing. Why will I say that? Answer coming in just a minute. Real quick. Getting back to Mud Wtr before I forget about it, because I'm going to keep this video shorter. I've showed this before. This is a bag of Mud Wtr. You can see the list of ingredients on there, okay? There's the back of the bag, the nutrition information. A cup of it has 20 calories, 1 gram of dietary fiber, a little bit of iron, a little bit of potassium, all right? It has mushrooms in it. It has cinnamon. It has turmeric. It has chai. It has some other stuff, all right? On and on and on. I try to drink 1 cup a day. All right. I started it. My son told me about it. My oldest son, he's now 29. He told me about it. Maybe 2 years ago. I was in Virginia when he told me about it. And I've been drinking about a cup a day ever since then. I cut out 1 cup of coffee a day. I used to drink 2 cups of coffee every day. I still drink 1 cup of coffee, 1 cup of green tea, and usually, 90% of the time, a cup of Mud Wtr. All right. I'll put a link below to Mud Wtr for I get a bag. This is like a 90-day serving, I think. I could use 1 tablespoon to make a cup. All right, but I'll put a link below to a 30 serving little tin that you could, if you want to try it out, because it's an acquired taste. The first time you try it, you might not like it. Okay, it's an acquired taste, but you can add various sweeteners to it. If you order it, you'll get suggestions on things you can add. I add creamer, like coffee creamer. That's what I add. Okay. All right, where was I getting to? Alrighty, getting back to my last thought. Why does real estate investing beat stock investing? Hands down. All right, in a nutshell, stock investing, you have to put your money into it. Maybe it's your 401k. It's your money that goes into it, and your money can grow. Okay, and that's good. Your money grows. That's good. And if you get a 10% return, that's good. If you get an 18% return, that's better. It grows. But with real estate investing, there's a couple things in a nutshell. One, if the house you're buying, let's say, costs $100,000, you don't have to spend $100,000 to buy it. You typically will put 20% down, $20,000 to buy that $100,000 house. The bank provides the rest of the money. That's OPM, other people's money, okay? So the bank is providing the other 80%. But when you get your rental income in, you don't give 80% of your rental income to the bank. You get to keep it all. Now, you do have to pay your mortgage, and your mortgage covers your principal, your interest, and you also pay your taxes and insurance, and you also pay your property manager, and you hold out, say, roughly 20% for vacancies, repairs, and capital expenditures. Okay, and that can vary, depends on you, your house, your market, all that kind of stuff. Okay, that's just kind of what I do, roughly that. All right, so that's one thing. But your tenant, so the bank's giving you 80% of the money to buy the house, not 100%. You don't pay 100% of it. Then your tenant pays your mortgage for you. They pay the debt for you. Yes, you go through the motions of paying it, but your tenant gives the money to you. And then with the rent you make, when it comes tax time, all the rent you make, and let's just say, I don't know, you're getting $1,000 a month. So in a year's time, you got $12,000. All right, got that $12,000. But out of that $12,000, you don't pay tax. If that was your paycheck, you pay tax on $12,000. Okay, and you pay all kinds of tax, federal, state, FICA. You pay it. With real estate, you subtract stuff. You subtract all of the taxes you pay, whatever those taxes are. And who pays those taxes? Your tenant pays those taxes. All right. You also subtract the insurance that you pay. Who pays that insurance? Yeah, you're learning. Your tenant pays that insurance. All right. You also subtract taxes, insurance, any repairs you made, because trust me, you'll have to make repairs. You'll repair a broken door handle. You repair a leaky faucet. Eventually, you'll put a roof on. You put a furnace in. And when you subtract, your CPA can do this, or your tax preparer can do this, but it's broken down between repairs and capital expenditures. Capital expenditures are bigger things, like the roof, the furnace, the AC. Repairs are fixing the leaky faucet, because they might be a write-off, or it might be, if it's a capital expenditure, I think my CPA, and I'm not a CPA, I think my CPA depreciates it for a period of time, and it depends on what it is. I'm not going to get into that. All right, and the last thing you subtract is depreciation. I mentioned this in a video the other day. The federal government, the IRS, requires that we depreciate our property by 27 and a half years. All right, we do not depreciate the land. It's just the house, the building, the property for 27 and a half years. So you take the value of that house. Say you bought that $100,000 house. Maybe the house is worth $75,000. The land's $25,000. So you divide the price of the house, $75,000, by 27 and a half years. And whatever that dollar amount is, that is also subtracted from the rent. So when you subtract all this stuff, you have a lot less income. And you also subtract what? Property management fees. If you pay a property manager, you subtract that. Any expenses you might have. Like if you drive to your properties, you keep track of your mileage, and whatever the federal government rate is, it might be like 58 cents a mile. I think I subtracted $1,000 easily for my local properties before, just driving every month, driving there for something. So it adds up. Okay, so and there's more, much more. If you have a CPA, ask them to explain it, dig around, and you'll find it. Okay, but again, real estate investing, to me, to Mazske, beats stock investing hands down. And on top of it all, you're going to own a house, maybe a bunch of houses, that other folks are paying the mortgages for you. Think about that. If you're struggling to pay your personal mortgage, if you're intimidated by buying your first house because they're too expensive, you're 25 years old and they're too expensive, you can start getting rental property. And I'm not even talking about house hacking yet. That's even a better deal, okay? But I'm not going to get into that. This is getting too long. But other people pay your mortgage for you, and you can get a collection of properties and live off the income, be financially free from folks out there paying their rent. All right? Good enough. Hopefully you learned something from this video. If you're interested in Mud Wtr, check out the link below. If you like that Ring doorbell, check out the link below. All right. Enough said. Mazske is signing out.